Today I'm doing some woods. Doesn't belong to me, it's a permission. It belonged to this house at one time. The property is approximately, I think, 29 acres that I'll be doing. I did the first part over there, the field, which the field is about 5 acres, a little over 5 acres, give or take. And I did a little bit more than half of it. Found absolutely nothing but a ball of lead. And this was, I think, beginning of the year or last year. It's kind of strange, so I'm thinking someone metal detected it before, but I don't know nothing about the woods. I don't know what's back there besides the neighbor has a cabin back there, about a 1 acre pond. And a 1 acre pond has history. 4-H back in the 50s, the 1950s used to go back there. I guess the homeowners at the time in the 50s, I think, started planting a lot of them pine trees that you see back there. So there's a little bit of history. I just hope nobody else hit it. So, but on the way to the woods, I ended up pulling something weird. It looks like a carburetor bowl of some sort. Very, very weird. Look, see how that opens? I've only got one hand right now. I do have this on a tripod, and I'm going to start doing some live digs today, just to document things and stuff like that, and to see if this is going to work out for me. It is an interesting piece right there. Looks like part of a carburetor, and this might be a float, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's some writing on it. You can see where I dinged it right there. Interesting piece. So let me get at it and see what I can find. Now I didn't do this one live because it was a 15-16, but ended up pulling up a large bullet. The guy that's here is a hunter, so every deer season or hunting privilege that he gets, I don't hunt, so I don't really know what's part of the season it is or whatever. Usually I have to ask somebody, but he probably use a different type of guns. And you can see over there is a trail cam, so you can keep an eye on the deer. He grows some kind of weird stuff over here. I'm going to detect this real quick before I get into the woods. And I think the stuff that he grows might be using to have deer lay in, because that'd be a perfect spot for deer to lay into and snuggle in, keep warm. They would be able to hear predators coming into that, because I'm pretty sure that makes a lot of noise when you walk through that. Speaking of noise, what was that? This is a kind of like hanging around a 27. Doesn't sound all that big. I'm thinking shotgun slug, but I don't know. And it kind of like goes down, goes up, but it keeps hanging around a 27. Semi-deep. He does plow this area, so it could have been plowed deeper. Yep, lead. That's older too. I don't think that was from the new owners. I think that's old lead. Cool relic. We'll keep going. And I have a 15-16 coming up. I think it's probably another one of those pieces of bullet that there we go. Some kind of old interesting bullet. This one's kind of a choppy 21, 22. sounds like a penny, but it seems too large. Seems way too large to be a penny. Another old bullet. This one's coming up at 26, semi-large. This is interesting. Got like a piece of wood sticking out of it. There's something on this. You can see some kind of stamping like leaves. Huh. I don't see wording. I see a lot of floral pattern on here. I wonder what that could have been to. Well, once I clean it up, maybe I'll see something on there and I'll get an idea on it. There's something sticking out of it, but maybe it's a root. I'll leave that alone. Maybe it's a match for matches? I don't know. Alrighty. Alright, this is a kind of a choppy signal. Seems semi-large. Someone keeps texting me like crazy. Shotgun shell. I've never actually, that's kind of weird. I found shotgun shells before, but not a modern day one. But like I said, there's a guy that hunts a lot here. Yeah, I think he's got a bunch of, actually I believe his son even hunts. His son's like real young too. This is an actually unspent shotgun shell. I don't know how long he's been in the ground for, but yeah, look at that, it's unspent. I believe that's a deer slug. That's kind of crazy. This one's coming up another 21, 22. Weird, I haven't found any coins yet back here. Not even a button. It's a horrible plug. There it is. Ooh, that sucker's old. Crunchy, the bullet just broke. I'm not sure what that round was, but another bullet. Now I didn't dig this one live because it was a bad signal and I knew it was large. But look at that. That's an old axe. Look at the size of that thing. I had to say early 1900s, late 1800s. I'm not sure if I want to carry that with me. I might just drop that off to the side and come back for it, because I'm only in the beginning of the woods. I haven't even made it down to the end yet. I mean, all sorts of stuff back here. There's cinder blocks right there. Some old beehives. What else? A lot of knockdown trees, so it's hard to get in between all the branches and stuff. But there's a lot of targets in this general area. I'll keep working it, see what else I can find. Walking through one of the trails, I see an old fender here. Whatever truck that went to, boy, that sucker was pretty. Even has a blinker on top, still got the light bulb in there. Got a little bit of rot down towards the bottom there, but look at that thing. It don't build vehicles like that anymore. I would have to say that's probably what, 1950s, possibly the 40s. The woods is getting a little thicker. It's like a big jumble of mess. I'm not sure what this would have been in the early years. Could have been just wetlands. Could have done nothing. I don't see any really old trees. Could have been part of a farm field. I don't know. But none of the trees here are really that old. I mean, there's some that have been cut down, like that one there. And if you look at the rings on it, it's easily 70 some odd years old. But nothing 150, 200 years old. I'll swing and see what I can find. Yeah, it's been a bit since I found anything. This is coming up 21, 22. Maybe it was a 20, 21, I can't remember. Didn't say it was all that deep. That's the theme of today. Bullets. Lots of them. I'm off to a different section and it came to a tire dump slash bottles. I'll try to walk across these. I try to find dates on the tires. Most tires do have dates. I don't know when they started it, but I couldn't find none on some of the tires that are here. It doesn't look like this little bottle area is all that old. Could it be 1978? Probably seems about right. That's an interesting bottle. Wens. Yeah, little markings on the side. Probably some snake oil bottle. A lot of wire back here too. There's a wire fence. W.M.R. Warner Company, USA. Here's another Rochester bottle. I think that was pop. Oh, that would have been a pretty bottle. Not old, but pretty milk magnesia. Oh, there we go, just get my foot stuck. You see a fence right here, and it runs down that way. So I'm a little bit beyond the property line. It doesn't quite make sense because over there's a posted sign there. So this must be running like on a V or something, or a slant. Well, I'll keep poking around. Only thing I've dug up in this general area was modern day pop cans. So, nothing extremely old. That's the right color right there. Look at that. A plate, unbroken. I'll keep that. And then what is over here? Nice dark color, whatever it was, probably beer. That's kind of interesting. Could be promising. It would have been a bottle dump somewhere for these properties.
because there's another 1800 next to this place. Look at that. Look like a leaf spring off of a buggy or something. A big old plated door. Here's the old big bottle. Seam to the top. Well, I'll be back. I was just about to leave, and look at this cool relic. Look like an old bowl, or maybe something for gas to clean it. I like it though, it's kind of interesting. The plating they used for being in elements as long and as old as it is sure lasted a long time. I mean, there's no rust on that. It's got to be some kind of stainless. What else is over here? Oh, what is this? Ah, a baby milk jar, maybe? There's a half pint bottle. I'm pretty sure of it. That stinks. Definitely don't have one of those. What is this? Oh man. I love milk bottles. Oh, that stinks. That's broken. Ponds, nice. Is there anything else interesting? I'll come back. I don't know, it's me and bottle dumps. But there's always something interesting when you go to a bottle dump. This is a tree that fell over. And it has like a bottle over there. I don't know if it's full. Try to reach it. Oh, it's broken. But it was pretty though. Look at the flowers and everything on there. I'll bring it up in a second. Let's see if I can find anything else. Oh, that's pretty. Look at this. That's something interesting. It's round, it's not a coin. It's a tag of something. It's got like a reeded edge. Put that, it's let me tell you, it's cold out right now. It's about 24 degrees or so. My hands are freezing. And, ooh, almost lost it. And being wet's not fun. Boy, I really love this. This was crystal. Dang, too bad it broke. I mean, it's heavy. Of course, it's packed with a little bit of dirt in there too. But no, that's a heavy, heavy piece. Beautiful. You can see that crack right here. I wonder if that came from the crack. I bet you when this tree was standing upward, somehow that other crack probably was connected. And look. Boop. I'm going to scan this area. This looks interesting. I already found that, whatever that was. There's going to be more stuff around here. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, did a little bit more digging. Did find an old shoe in there. Some more glass. My jaw's almost frozen because it's so cold out. Mason jar. Screw cap. This came out of an old battery. Found a mason jar top, still intact, good. Oops, wrong bag. That was kind of neat. Very, very thin. That was a mason jar lid. Man. So this is very ashy. The material, and since it's so cold out, it's almost hard as a rock to pull apart. I'm surprised I found that one thing laying on the surface there. And that was about it. There is, if you look over there, there's some marble. And there's another tree there that rotted away and died. I don't see ash around it though. This one here, it seemed like, you know what I should do? If this tree was upright, and this one here, this whole area here might have some stuff in there. And it's on this side of the fence, the tree, actually both of them. So this might have came from my house from back in the day. I'll do a little bit more poking around, see if I can come up with anything, but I don't know. So I left the little bottle dump area. I did a little bit more digging. I did find a milk bottle, but it was broken. That's promising, but since the ground is kind of hard, I'm not going to go back until I have the right tools. Got to have a bigger shovel. Plus I got to spend a little time cleaning the area up, moving some of the sticks and everything. I dug down and I just grabbed a really old shotgun stamp. It's definitely prior of the new owners here, a long time ago, probably from the 20s or so. I'll clean it up later, see if I can get a name on there. Just dug this thing up. It's brass. Interesting chain. I can't go this way. This is another person's property, but I did a little bit in there. Not even a scratch of anything. Alrighty, I think I finally got a coin. It was deep, and I don't even, let me go back over the top of it, see what it was ringing. So might got a sweet penny. It's got that color. Yeah, oh no, modern day penny. 1974. Well, I normally don't do live digs. I didn't do this one live because I've been digging so many bullets, and I really hate editing. Editing is just not nice. I know most of the other YouTubers that do this, they've got people that edit for them, and you know, and pretty much doing this on myself, and I work a lot. So yeah, this is the reason why I don't do live digs, is a lot of times that the stuff just doesn't come up that's good, and it's just a lot of footage I gotta rewatch and delete. So anyhow, if you look at what I'm looking at, this place, I'm going to raise this up a little bit. This place is a jungle, straight jungle. I mean, ain't no swinging in there. I mean, you could walk and maybe move your coil straight ahead of you. Try not to get tangled up. And in the clear spots, I do try to get in there. It's just not really good for swinging at all. So anyhow, there's more pines. I'm going to go into pines where life is easier, usually. And then I'm probably going to hit the pond that's over there. Maybe one of the 4-H girls dropped a quarter in the 50s. So we'll see what happens. I'll make my way that way. And I got probably a couple hours left before sun sets. I'll be back. Alright, I have a 2930. I'm pretty sure it's a quarter. It's kind of like in that size range when I pinpoint it, so it doesn't say it's fairly deep, so I'm going to go a little bit deeper than normals. It could possibly be a silver one, since no one's really back here often. Oh, I'll show you a clump. Here's the one side. What is this? It's a 1979 Susan B. Anthony $1. That's nice. Alrighty. So I guess we'll be hitting a little bit more of this area. The last time I found that 1 penny, it was from the 70s. I rechecked the hole. I found a nickel from 1970. So let me click on the GoPro here. I don't know how well you can see, but the pond is frozen over. I don't think it's frozen over to the point I can walk on it. And I could scan this area here. He's plowed this a few times. He grows something here. I don't know if that's
You've got mail.
some kind of weird grass. So I'm gonna poke around this area, see if I can find some more of those dollars. That'd be nice. Still at the pond. I dug a hole somewhere over here and got a whole mess of lead weights. I thought they were all silver for a minute because they weren't even tarnished. They were down a bit, but now I've picked up a fishing lure. Don't look incredibly old. I think I got a couple of them in my chest or my tackle box. So I'm going to be working back and forth here. I did a lot of the pines over there, but I haven't done the pines up in that area yet, so I'll end up getting back there and see if I can find anything old. I'll be back. I haven't found much. I'm working the basically the berm here that holds the pond, and I never really looked across this thing, but see that hole right there? I have to believe that's the overflow. Could it be? Well, I ain't walking there to find out, but I would have to suspect there had to be another pipe over here, so if it ever gets that high, it'll drain into that. But how they stop that thing from leaking over the years. Very interesting. I found that I haven't recorded, I mean, a bunch more bullets. A handful easily. Found a fishing reel handle somewhere over on the berm over here. I just noticed a little section of pines here that I did not hit, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing my way around the berm here, maybe hit over there, because that's where I found $1 over there. But you know, he's plowed this a million times. I'll walk through it real quick, see if I can pick up anything. If not, I'm gonna make a beeline to over here and zigzag and hit over here, and then I'll be done. I don't think there'd be much more to detect after this. It's just some of the spots are just so brushy, so bad, but we'll see what we can get next. A birdhouse. You see who's sticking out looking at me? Can you see that? Little mouse staring at me. Ain't he cute? Not cute when they go in your house, but I love mice. Only as a pet. I don't like the wild ones really much, but look at him. He found himself a little home in the winter. And he goes, hey, what are you doing out here? You're not gonna bother me, are you? Now, put the lid back down. You go to sleep. I'm working my way back to the axe head. I kind of almost lost it, but I think it's up in this area. I've been walking for a bit trying to look for it, but I'm detecting, and I came across this weird looking thing. It looks like a valve stem, maybe, off of an old tractor or something. I won't know until I clean that up. I found the axe blade. It was a little bit further up the hill like I thought. So I'm pretty much done. I can't really work in that heavy, whoops, I can't really work in that heavy material right there. All that brush, vines, dead wood. Just can't do it. So
I did the little section of pines where the mouse was. That was clean. I did find one bullet, one old shell. That was it. And then I hit the other section of pines, and it didn't really yield anything but a label for a, what was it called? It was a rake. Something that was on a rake at one time that fell off. It was fairly deep. Took me a minute to get it, but that's it. I think I'm done with this place, and I believe I should have found silver at that lake, or not the lake, but the pond. I should have found some silver there, but there was nothing. I did find a money spill on the other side, closer to the expressway, and it had a bunch of dimes, bunch of pennies, and that was it. They were mostly from the 70s, going all the way to the late 90s, I think, somewhere around there. That was it. There was no silver. But to be honest with you, I think someone detected this place a long time ago, because when I bought the house with the 5 acres, my property was a gold mine. There was tons of stuff. I found gold there, silver. I found dandy buttons from the late 1700s. The house was built in, I think, around 1805, 1810, around that era. And there was a lot of nice stuff there. So no one hit my house. These woods, with the history it has and everything, should have yielded a lot more, but nothing. There is a bottle dump, a very small one. I think I'd like to dig that up. There could be more interesting finds there. So bottle digging might be in the future. I have to ask the landowner what he thinks about that. And that's about it. So I'll get back to you in a second here with a wrap up.
Hello everybody. Now to the wrap up. I got everything pretty much cleaned as best I can. There was a lot of bullets. Some bullets I left behind. The numbers were getting, in sequence. So a lot of the lead I ended up leaving. I just knew what it was. But I pulled a fair amount up. A lot of different calibers here. Full unspent shotgun shell, deer slug. Some vintage old high-powered rifle shells. Some other unspent 22 long old shotgun stamps. Ended up getting a $1.82 in coins. I'm not sure what the oldest was. Might have been in 1970. And a Susan B. Anthony dollar. I thought it was going to be something a little bit more special, but I just not used to seeing these. And I seen that eagle in the back. I was like, what coin had that? So a little bit of glass for not expecting to hit a bottle dump area. You know, that was pretty cool. A wing nut. This part here was on the way back to the woods. I believe that came off of a carburetor. I believe that's a valve stem of some sort. I still don't know what this is. There's no writing on it. I can't see it being with fuel because this door doesn't really close all that tight, and I would see it leaking out. Maybe air. This is glass. So I don't really know. This was next to the carburetor. I didn't show it in the video. It looked like a turn piece for a sink. Air nozzle, some fishing stuff that was around the pond. This weird chain, and this isn't the first one I found of these, you know, in my adventures of metal detecting. I found another one like this too. Basically a chain that makes no sense. But if you notice, it's uniformed, where it goes one link, two link, another link, and then multiple links. And it's the same way here, and this is the center. I'm sure it probably came off of a horse or an animal. There had to have been a purpose of making something like that. I just don't know what. I haven't seen anyone else ever find anything like this and explain it. And it's too hard to explain on Google. This came off of a rake. I didn't show it, but it's more of an older rake. They call it the lawn comb. This piece here, I believe, might have been an old lighter. Vintage old lighter. It has the hinges here where the top would have opened up, would have opened like this. I couldn't find that part, but that's real cool. Pretty much this is what I really like. You see it's shiny now. I soaked it in some hydrochloric acid just so I could read it a little bit better. This comes from 44 Front Street in Rochester, New York. Now, the 22X is probably, I don't know, it's probably something related to this house or the old farm next door, but probably most likely this house here is probably number 22 was, I don't know. But this would have been made anywhere from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. The reason is the company of this, the name in the back here is the name of the company, which, let me look here. The name of the company for this, who made this key tag here, was called Berelsum, and they last advertised in 1941. And then in 1960s, I think in 1968, they started dismantling Front Street. Front Street was, a lot of people don't know it because, you know, you would have had to have been born before, many years before 1968 to really experience Front Street. Front Street was almost like the main trading area for Rochester. A lot of the oldest buildings existed on Front Street. The urban renewal that they had in the 60s, when they started putting in the inner loop for Rochester, they cut Front Street. And Front Street had everything you could think of. Poultry, meat shops, pawn shops. And they said it was kind of like, for you guys that know, let's see, Rochester area, it was kind of like multiple streets all in one. You had Lyle Avenue and some other streets just combined on there, and they had all sorts of different shops. It's all gone. Front Street's only about, I don't know, 400 or 500 feet long now. There's no buildings, no houses on it, nothing. And then the rest of Front Street, which was pretty long, I think it was like a mile or more long, has been divvied up or bulldozed over, and it's gone. So this is a pretty cool remembrance piece. It was, you know, without me looking up the address on here, I would have knew nothing about Front Street. And it has a lot of history. They used to call it Skid Row due to all the meat shops and everything that were on there. I'm going to have some pictures at the end. Shows you what Front Street looked like. And it looks like just about every other old photograph you'd see of a city. But it had a little bit of a special, unique atmosphere back in its day. I will also have a link in the description that you can click on and go and read about Front Street. And it's just interesting history. So if you guys really like your history, there's something that you could read up on, and it's kind of comical. That hunt there, we're looking at about 4.5 hours. A lot of walking in the woods, a lot of discoveries. I've only been in that woods once, about 8 years ago. It was kind of interesting looking at everything that was back there, and hopefully maybe in the future we'll excavate that bottle dump that's back there, maybe find more stuff. And that's where this came from. If you remember right, that was all crusty sitting on top of that tree that fell over. Just that piece right there. I didn't have to really dig for it. I didn't have to dig at all, actually. It was just laying on top there. I pulled it off, and that was an interesting piece. So could you only imagine what's buried? And what happened is that tree fell over, lifted it up, and just kind of like flung it at the top there. So if there's this piece there, and it was just laying on top, there's more underground. I did do a little bit of prospecting. I did dig up a little bit. Found a broken milk bottle, which was a shame. It was an older type. What else? I found a bunch of other bottles, but they were pop bottles. There's probably about maybe a 50 by 50 square foot area of ash and stuff that's being buried there. So let's unbury it and see what we can find. Anyhow, this is this week's finds. If you like, give a thumbs up. And for you non-subscribers, please subscribe. Until next week. Thank you and bye.